I'm Brielle. Brielle. So, I saw a lot of you raise your hands your first time here. Can anybody raise their hands if they don't have a site yet and they're building it? They're in the midst of building their site? Okay, alright, so I know where to like target this conversation to. So, here we have the Tom Don Road Show. So, my dad and his friend are retired, and they're taking a road trip across the country. So they want to make a site for the Tom Don Road Show. And they're not too tech savvy, but you know, they got WordPress and they know about the themes and how easy it is and how everyone can do it. So they're like, all right, let me go on to WordPress and make this. So they come here, they made their site, right? And it's the white screen of death. And no one knows what to do with this white screen of death. So then you have the opposite. You have a theme. So you go into Google and you're like, all right, I don't need to design this from scratch. I'll use a theme. So we go here, and we're looking at all of these themes. By all of these themes. Let's go with theme forest. Right, so this wasn't the page. So this is another site I did, but this is just me uploading a theme. Sorry, that's not the one. By the way, because it took me so long to connect to this Wi-Fi, my presentation wasn't complete, but it's better this way anyway. So they decide, you know what, let me just go and I'll pre-install a theme, because then I don't have to design it. And it gives you this. So now I have, instead of my site, a theme on my site, but it has nothing to do with my site. So here is all of the preloaded content that the theme gave me, and it's all about men's suits. So now I have to go back and I have to personalize my theme. And how do you do that? You go, and I'm going to delete all the suits, and I'm going to delete all the fonts, and then what am I left with? Essentially, we're back to the white screen of death. So the idea is that we should be able to have a combo between a preset theme and our own customization. And I discovered this really, really great YouTube video, and it's by Tyler.com. He literally got, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's the only way I know how to do a website.
He is amazing, and I've been doing WordPress for the past 5 years. I've made my own, I went to Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, and I redid their student newspaper site. So they had a very old content management system, and I moved all of their articles over to WordPress, and they still use the same site today. And ever since then, I've been making my own WordPress sites, and design was always my killer. It was like, okay, I know how to do it, but like I couldn't make anything stay because the same problem. I would do a theme, and then I would delete the content, and I'd be left with the bone structure, and I didn't know what to do with it. So every time I would go on and I would hire a designer. But Tyler was the first person that came up with a solution where I actually felt like I could design it myself. And I'll put the link to his video in the follow-up thread. So what it is, it's a combination between two plugins, and I'm going to show you, we're going to actually do a little bit of it just so you understand it. So the two plugins is WP Ocean and Elementor. So I downloaded them here. So WP Ocean is basically, you can preload all of their themes, but it's just a really good platform to work off of. And then Elementor is a site builder. So it lets you do, you know, there's tons of site builders out there, but Elementor is probably the best. So I downloaded those 2 plugins. You can skip like half the video now. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so then you go to your first page and then you just hit edit with Elementor. And it will bring you to the front end of your site, but you can use their builder. So what Elementor does is allows you to say, okay, I want to put an image in here, and I want to put text in other places, but we're still bare bones. You're still not inspired by this. You still have to like think of the design yourself. So what you can do with the combination of the 2 is you can add a part of a theme. So the idea was, what Tyler and his team did was they took all of these themes and they said, wouldn't it be great if we could break them up into sections so that you can add your section and not have to put the whole theme in your website. So this is basically what I do when I'm designing sites now. I literally go to tyler.com and I view the templates, and you can see here. So essentially, this is just a part of a theme that they took, and you can use it, and then you can use another part of another theme. So I figured let's get my dad off to the right start. Let's just give him a header on the website. So if I wanted to do that, let's say I really like this. You know what? I really like the second one, actually.
These are free themes?
All free. These are everything. The 2 plugins plus this site is all free.
What did that last image change when you clicked on it?
What?
The last image it changed when you clicked on it. It was like there's a background to it.
Yeah, that was a little weird. I don't know what that, but I wanted to use this one, so essentially it should look like how it was in the thumbnail. I don't know why that one changed. But I really like this one, right? So this is how I want my website to look when I first go to it. Obviously customized to my site. So all I would do is I would download the template. So I would go to tyler.com, I'd find something that I'd want, and I would simply just download the template. And then I'd go back to my site. So I already have the plugins installed. What I would do is there's a section for templates. So I would add a new one. It's very simple. But you import. You actually don't add a new, you import. So I'd go up here, L9, I would import it. Okay, so I have my template ready to go. So I go back to my page, and you still have to go, you have to hit the edit with Elementor button, which is kind of annoying. Here we go. Okay, I'm back to my site. Okay, so we can just delete all of this because it's all baloney. And what we're going to do is we're going to add the template right into my screen. So I just downloaded this template. I'm just going to import it directly into my site. So the scaling's a little off with this wide screen. But it basically just imports a section of that site. So if you go back to tyler.com and okay, like let's say now I want to do some call to action buttons. You can add the call to action section. So it's a way to break it up so that it makes design really easy and you don't have this flood of content of men's suits that has nothing to do with your site that you have to go back and then delete. So here I'm just gonna simply add in my dad's logo because I know a logo goes here. So I'm gonna upload the Tom Don Roadshow logo. And I'm gonna insert it. And I'm gonna label this Tom Don Roadshow. And you get the picture. But essentially, it makes design just super easy, and you can mix and match and customize. So this is a site that I did completely using the Elementor and WP Ocean plugins combined. And this was the same one we saw, the same one I imported, the L9. This section was another section I imported and just added my own icons. So yeah, it makes it just like super easy to design websites. And I find the hardest thing about designing websites isn't that it's hard. It's the same thing with writer's block. Who wants to stare at a blank notebook? You need something to go off of, but you need something that's going to inspire you. And I find that the way that Tyler laid out all of these different sections, I'm inspired to create what I want and not be confined to what a template made or a programmer made for me, and then I can't go back and manage it myself because I'm dependent on what they made for me. So I really feel like with this tool, I'm in complete control over my site. And that's what I like best about it. Yeah.
The Ocean Extra, what it does this one? You cannot get inside the Elementor without this plugin?
The two just work nicely together. So Elementor is this part,
Yeah.
and then the WP Ocean, I'm pretty sure that's where you actually upload the templates. So when we went here to templates, that's the WP Ocean part. And that's where we added the template that Tyler created. So then it allows us to use Elementor to import it in. But that you're actually uploading it to the WP Ocean plugin. Yeah.
That doesn't give you CSS files that you can go and revise to go into?
No, it doesn't.
Template.
You have it. So Elementor gives you a customized. Every plugin you have a section for the customized CSS.
Right.
So you can always do that, but no, these are just JSON files that you download. But they are super customizable because, as you can see,
If you go back to your site and do an inspect, see what kind of CSS is there.
yeah. So let's add back in my templates. Like here?
Yeah, I just inspected it. It's not there.
Oh, I guess I have to.
You have to go to an actual site. So it does give you CSS, I just don't know where it might be.
Yeah.
That's
I'm sure there is a way. Honestly, I haven't needed it. This is the first time that I literally haven't needed to do that or ask someone to help me to do it.
I'm just used to it, okay.
But yeah, you definitely can find it. Yeah.
So when you have all these different pieces, how do you make, let's say, the fonts and colors consistent? Do you have to go into each section and change it?
Yeah, you do. So that's where the Elementor actually comes in handy because once I know, okay, I want Tom Don, I know I want my Tom Don logo here, and I know I want like this here. Then actually making the font adjustment is really simple. You know, that's not where I find that I get caught up in design, at least. But yes, because they're all separate and, you know, they didn't come together, they're going to be all different fonts, they're going to be all different colors. And my mind works backward with design. Like, I like to have a structure in place and then go back with the details. Like, okay, I'll just change that and that. So that's why I find that this backwards way kind of helps. You're welcome. Does anyone else have any questions?
Maybe it's not backwards.
You're right. Could not be backwards. It hit the light when Tyler was explaining it to me. I was like, you think that a theme, like, okay, you're all set, but then why are 98% of websites still blank? People go to start their site and they're like, all right, it's so easy, it's so customizable, I'm gonna do it. But like, where's the roadblock? Like, why do a lot of people not finish their sites? And I really feel like it's the same as writer's block. It's a way to get around design. Anybody could change the font. Anybody could upload a logo. You can go on Fiverr, get a $5 logo, upload a logo. But like, how do you make it look good, and how do you have control over your website? I really feel like you need a tool that you feel like you're in control to be able to do that. Yeah.
Is there anything you can do in Elementor that you can't do in Gutenberg?
I've never tried Gutenberg.
But do you know?
Is there what?
Is there anything you can do in Elementor that you can't do in Gutenberg?
Well, there.
The only part of that would be you probably wouldn't be able to upload these section templates, but maybe you could.
Well, by default, Elementor is much more robust than it is right now. But you can extend Gutenberg. But I would say, as a design tool in and of itself, Elementor is far superior to where Gutenberg is now.
Do they work together?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their tool of their trade. I just found that I like this.
So this is the free version of Elementor that you use.
Free version, yeah. And I did upgrade to Pro after like my second site because there were certain things that I wanted for Pro. But it's definitely not needed. You could do the whole thing for free. And like, it would be fine.
What did you need? What you add up?
So I wanted the post widgets. Like, I wanted to be able to drag and drop posts on the front page. Like, I could have made a separate post page for it. And I'm sure there was a way to do it, but I just really liked how easy it was. Like, if I'm trying to create sites, and a lot of them, I want something that's drag and drop. And I was like, all right, at this point, it was like a treat. It was like going from like tall to grande in Starbucks. I'm like, I'm gonna upgrade. So does anybody have any input on where they are in their site, and like design wise, what do they feel has worked for them, or where you are in the process of creating it, your WordPress site?
Well, I was curious about the plugins, like that coupled with, I guess these two plugins. So, like, say for example, like the first site had suits, right?
Yeah.
And then this site, based on these two plugins, they don't have like a suit. There's no more suit. Like, so, like, for example, like if you were to want to create kind of an e-commerce suit part of your site, you do that.
The e-commerce part, yeah. So what I would do, and I have created e-commerce sites, and basically I did it this way. I created the whole thing besides the e-commerce part,
Okay.
and I just kind of left a section open for that. And then I went into WooCommerce and kind of had to build it from scratch, but because everything else surrounding it was the way I wanted it, it was easy.
Okay.
Because I think a lot about WooCommerce, it's like so a preset theme, anybody could just take those suits, right, and upload their product into it. But it doesn't match the whole site. Like, there's a really fine line between like just a store and a site. Like what's a store versus site? And so I really find that having like the website you want and then just adding the functionality to make it e-commerce is so much easier than building an e-commerce site and then making it, you know, match your brand.
Okay. So what you're saying is you could build a site with these two plugins, and then after use WooCommerce. It's not too complicated to insert WooCommerce into this.
That's what I found. Or what you can do is this is the site. I didn't add Elementor on this one. This was just like I can add it, and you could just it wouldn't be as customizable, but you can do the same thing with Elementor where you can easily like drag and drop like this. Like so this is Elementor without these sections. Like I'm dropping text, I'm dropping an image. So here's an image. So as you can see, you're working with something a lot different than what you're working with up here. It's a lot different layout that you're starting with. So that's why I like this method. But you can still, like, if you did a preset theme with the suits, you can still do what I'm doing here, where you're just adding text. You know, like you already have the functionality set up, and you're like, oh, I want some text up here. You could still do it that way.
Great. Any other questions?
More questions? Yeah.
Well, I use Tyler because I didn't know anything about WordPress, and everybody kept saying go to YouTube, and I was spending weeks and weeks getting nowhere, and nothing was up on the screen.
Yeah.
I created. With Tyler, he literally takes you and he helps you create 5 pages in a weekend. Your home page, your about page, your contact page, everything, and he does explain WooCommerce. So within a weekend, I had my site, at least the first 5 pages up.
Yeah.
Then after that, I was able to add the other pages the way I wanted. And that's the beauty that I like about him, is that at least you had 5 pages.
Yeah. I
And
know.
you were like, wow.
Like he's one of those
You're watching
early.
200 videos and you have nothing.
I felt the same way. Like I'm a huge YouTube learner, and like I wish I found this video 5 years ago. It's like he obviously is an early internet website guy. Like he got the domain tyler.com, but he just makes it so simple, and like I mean this is what he created, and I use it, and a lot of people use it, and you should use it too.
So just to recap, Tyler's a person, so you go to tyler.com, right?
Yeah, so
And then you could also go to the YouTube that she was talking about.
So this is where you're going to find all of what the sections that Tyler has made. And yeah, if you go to YouTube and you go, I don't even know what Tyler.com. Yeah, Tyler Moore is his name. He has like 6 videos in total. It's like literally not a lot. But I guess he made a new one for 2019, but I was using this one. Yeah, he made a new one 2 weeks ago. But I used this one. And he'll walk you through, like, it is an hour and a half, probably the best hour and a half you'll spend. But I've already saved you about, like, 40 minutes of the video showing you what I did tonight. So if you want to learn more, you can, but that's, like, the gist of these 2 plugins that allow you the customizability of what he did. Yeah.
So you didn't need the Ocean theme, just the Ocean plugin.
Just the Ocean plugin, yeah. And they do have another plugin where you can import demos, but you don't need that if you don't want to import the demo. Okay, I can take one more question. Yep.
I might have missed this since I came in a little late, but so I have a WordPress site and I have a theme that I downloaded, but if I want to customize that, can I do that through Elementor, or do I do Elementor just the plugins and go from there?
Yeah, you can add Elementor. And like I said, like you can add Elementor and it'll do something like this, where like let's say you wanted to add text. you can simply drag in, like this Elementor is really great even without this, these preset templates. Like you could still do a lot with this. Like designers love it. I'm just not by trade a designer, so I find it hard, but honestly, like if you already have a theme, you can easily just drag and drop. Simple. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.